Amy, what is our second totally on topic today?
Our second topic comes to us from Chris Parker. News has just broke that the SEC is suing MoviePass executives for fraud. They allege that the executives intentionally made misleading statements regarding the company's financial position and its activities, and that they knew their business model couldn't be sustained. John, you were never a fan of the MoviePass top brass, but even you must be surprised at the recklessness of their behavior. And do you think it's now only a matter of time before the current MoviePass rebrands to steer clear of this mess?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. Now, look, the first thing we should mention here is that this has nothing to do with the current, new, original ownership of MoviePass. Mm-hmm. The people who are now back in control of MoviePass, this has nothing to do with them whatsoever. It has everything to do with those jackholes who were running MoviePass for those years. Listen, I had been on record for a long time about MoviePass. MoviePass, when it came under their new ownership, the quote unquote new ownership at the time, they came out and said MoviePass, which was working pretty well. I mean, it was the first thing we'd ever heard of at the time living in the United States, that it came out as like for a $20-something a month thing, I could go to any movie. I could go to any movie anytime. It was a great idea. And I think it got up in Los Angeles. It cost more. It cost about 25, 26, 27 bucks. But for somebody like me, that was still totally worth it. I was saving tons of money by using it. So then the new owners came in and they announced to the world, shocked the world, MoviePass, all you can watch movies for $10 a month. And we're like, wait a minute. How? Now, the model was pretty simple and basic. And actually, I'm wondering if I can do this. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up the Campea classroom here. So, Jonathan, if you want to be able to take a second, I'm going to need a moment here to clear this thing up anyway. Let's go over to the Campea classroom, and we're going to look at MoviePass. Okay? So, here's the thing that this was the basic model for MoviePass, okay? The basic model for MoviePass that the quote-unquote new owners at the time were pulling in was this. You pay $10 a month, okay? So I would pay MoviePass $10 a month. But here's why immediately people like myself and others said something doesn't add up here. Every time, every damn time I used MoviePass, MoviePass had to pay the movie theater full ticket price. Okay?
Ticket price.
Now, when you're John Campea and you're living beside and working in the AMC Burbank 16 and you go in to watch a James Bond movie, not an AMC Prime, not an IMAX, you're paying $15 a ticket. Okay? $15 a ticket. Now, the way it worked is I would take out my MoviePass card. I registered on the app. It would immediately credit the amount of money onto the MoviePass card, which was just a MasterCard, the exact amount for a movie ticket at that theater. I would then go to AMC and just pay for my movie ticket with this MasterCard full price. So that meant every damn time I went to the movies, if I can type on this right, movies, MoviePass lost $5.
Hold on. Taylor, can you run those numbers for us?
Find up. So I paid $10 a month, and as soon as I go to one movie, MoviePass was out $5.
So the first time you went to a movie, MoviePass was out $5.
Yeah.
Every time after that, MoviePass was out $15.
So if I went once a week, if I went one times per week, that should be one time per week, that's $60 a month that MoviePass is having to pay to the movie theaters while still only getting $10 from me. Now they're in the hole $50. Heaven help them if I started going to 2 movies a week, because now they're paying the movie theater $120 while only getting $10 from me. And this was their business model.
A bad pyramid scheme.
I've never seen a business model that was like just basically me in college using my debit card going, it'll be fine, and refusing to check the balance.
Daddy will pay it. It's fine.
They were dependent on new subscribers and that hoping people would just pay and not go.
Well, no, see, this is the thing.
Wait,
now,
is that
when
what I sound
pressed
like
on
to you,
it,
John?
when,
Daddy will pay it.
Daddy will
Is that what you
pay
think
it.
of me? Thank you.
Daddy. We want to take a second and thank a sponsor of this video, Stamps.com. Guys, I know it feels early, but Christmas really is right around the corner. And if you've got a lot of stuff to send to family this year, you got to start thinking ahead. And if you're a small business owner, you know how important it is to be ready for the insane holiday season. Stamps.com has everything you need to make your life a whole lot easier. It's the 24/7 post office that you can access from anywhere. No lines, no traffic, no hassle. Get access to the USPS and UPS services that you need to run your business right from your computer. Protect your margins with major discounts from USPS and UPS rates up to 86% off. All you need is a computer and a printer. We all know that rates are always changing, but with Stamps.com's Switch and Save feature, you can easily compare carriers and rates so you know that you're getting the best deal every single time. And if you're running an online store, Stamps.com works seamlessly with all the major shopping carts and marketplaces. So get ahead of the holiday season chaos this year. Get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with the promo code Campea for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts required. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code Campea. So they said this, the CEO, when pressed on this, they actually said, we are relying on a gym membership model where gyms don't make money from the people that go to the gym. They make their money from the people who sign up for the gym and never go, which is probably 5 out of the 6 people in this room, right? And probably 5 out of the 6 people in whatever room you're in. But that's not how movie going works, because people don't like going to the gym, but people like going to the movies.
Eating popcorn.
So they didn't believe their own bullshit. They knew this wasn't true, which started to make their true colors come out. Their real scheme
Schemers.
was to blackmail movie theater chains and studios. That was their real business model. So let's go back to the classroom. So their obviously will never work in a million years business model was all up front. Their real business model was blackmail. The blackmail was basically this. Once they hit, I can't remember what the threshold was, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million subscribers, because everybody was signing up for all the movies you can watch for $10 a month, sure thing. So then what they started to do is they used blackmail. They started going to AMC theaters, Regal cinemas, and others saying, it'd be a shame if these fancy windows got broken. What they said was, it would be a shame, AMC theaters or Regal cinemas or Cinemark theaters. It'd be a shame if our 10 million active mover, whatever the number was, if our X number of million of active users, if we said they couldn't use our service at your theater, all these millions of moviegoers are going to have to go to your competitor. It would be a shame if that happened. You know what, AMC theaters? We think you should give us a discounted rate on tickets, and we think you should give us 15% of your concession stand sales. We think you should give us 15% of your concession stand sales. Now, I don't know what you know about movie theater business, but that's where they make all their money. So, of course, AMC Theaters and Regal and others wrote a very polite note that said, fuck yourself. That ain't happening. We are not giving you discounts on our tickets, and we are not going to give you a cut of our concession stand prices. Then, here's what happened. That was with the theaters. Blackmail the theaters. Then they decide we're going to blackmail the studios. Because what they started going to is they started going to studios. They say, hey, you want to buy a big ad space on our MoviePass app? Because if you don't, it would be a shame if we didn't let our MoviePass subscribers go to see your studio's movie that weekend. And this happened on a weekend when, what was the name of the Bruce Willis remake of the 70s? Vigilante? Death Wish. The same weekend, director of...
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth, thank you. Eli Roth directed Bruce Willis in Death Wish. And Jennifer Lawrence's Red Sparrow?
Yeah.
Red Sparrow? I'll go with
Sparrow.
Red Sparrow. Those two movies were opening on the same weekend. Let's go full screen again, Jonathan. Those two movies were opening on the same weekend. Guess what? Death Wish and the studio behind Death Wish paid MoviePass a bunch of money to advertise and to promote Death Wish on the MoviePass app. So guess what happens when MoviePass subscribers, aka me, went to the movie theaters that weekend to see Red Sparrow? Pulled out my MoviePass card, pulled out my app to get ready to buy my Red Sparrow ticket. Guess what? MoviePass wasn't going to let me go see Red Sparrow. You know why? Because their studio didn't pay them money. Their studio did, and blacklisted the other one. It became a whole scheme of blackmail and extortion and whatever. And these guys were dirty. And now the chickens have come home to roost because now they're getting their asses sued by the government. This comes to us from the folks over at the Hollywood Reporter. Write the following. From August of 2017 to at least March of 2019, Farnsworth and Lowe, these are the heads of the company, the CEOs of HMNY and MoviePass, respectively, intentionally and repeatedly disseminated to the public materially false or misleading statements concerning MoviePass and the key aspects of MoviePass's business model, states the complaint. The SEC alleges, that's the Security and Exchange Commission, alleges the execs lied about how MoviePass could become profitable and then, when faced with dubious finances, opted to curb heavy use of the service instead of coming clean. The complaints continue. In addition to the above fraud, between January and April 2018, MoviePass executive, a MoviePass executive submitted to HMNY and MoviePass, consequently, and through items, you know what? I think I missed a part there. Opted to curb use of the service and claim. The complaint continues. In addition to the above fraud, between January and April 2018, Farnsworth and Lowe approved false invoices that item, a MoviePass executive, submitted to HMNY and MoviePass. Consequently, and through item submission of additional false documents, item wrongfully obtained more than $310,000 from HMNY and MoviePass for his personal benefit. So they knew their business model wasn't going to work. They kept telling their shareholders, this is our business model, it's totally going to work, and here's why. They then started canceling and suspending people who had the audacity to use MoviePass. They started cutting them off while still taking their money. People were canceling memberships and still getting charged every month for it. And then we find out they were siphoning off funds to give to their buddies in the company while everybody else was going broke, and the company tanked. And now the SEC is saying, yeah, this can't go unpunished. So they're now being sued. Anyway, Rob, that was a huge, long way to set up this whole thing, that MoviePass. And listen, you guys know, if you followed me for any time, I've been very, very passionate about this whole issue of MoviePass for a long time. But the lawsuit's now happening. Does this bring any sort of catharsis to somebody like you, who you were one of the people that got ripped off by MoviePass?
I got a MoviePass for the holidays, and annual. It was paid for a year. It was a sketchathon from almost the beginning. And I was like, how, even I would, every time, I think I used my MoviePass 3 or 4 times in like 2 months, January, February, and then it started to go awry. And it just didn't work. And I'm like, there's no way. You could tell right away that even with the best intentions, this is a failing business model, because for the reasons you laid out. They were losing money every time I went and saw the film. And you could tell that was what they were banking on, that gym membership model. Yeah. But like you pointed out, I liked MoviePass. Elizabeth had one too. And we would be like, what are we going to go see? Not only did MoviePass, was it a thing we loved, our lives would plan out date night or whatever using MoviePass.
They're laughing at you, Rob.
That's such a great picture.
They're laughing at the superior intellect.
Yeah, there you go. It's nice reference, by the way. You knew it was lame. And then when we started to not be able to go to movies, I'm like, and that was just a few months in, I knew that this was too good to be true. But Elizabeth paid, she bought herself one and me for the holidays. That was $100 or $240. It was an annual pass. It was $120.
And did it go under before?
It went way under. We saw 3 or 4 movies in 2 months.
And I'm going to assume you never got refunded for your.
Of course not.
Of course not.
No.
I just get flashbacks of, like, I don't know if it was the AMC or Collider days, but we talked about MoviePass every day on that show.
Yeah, it was in the AMC days.
Yeah. I'm getting like flashbacks.
Anyway, Amy, were you ever sucked into the vortex that was MoviePass?
I remember when it came out kind of going, oh, that sounds too good to be true. But yeah, I'll look into it when I get a second. Kind of by the time I loop back around, I was hearing, oh, no, it was too good to be true.
Yeah.
So I never had one, and sounds like I kind of dodged a bullet on that one. Because, yeah, it felt so quick. Like I said, it was like, oh yeah, next month when like the holidays are over and I have a little more time, I'll look into, and then pretty immediately it was like, oh, I guess I won't be looking into that. But I can't wait for my like Big Short film documenting all of this. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, 'cause
And
is Mark Wahlberg the one doing a MoviePass documentary? Or,
I don't know.
Or some kind of biopic on. I know there's like either a
Interesting.
documentary or an actual biopic.
I
being
hope
made
it's like
about
a
this.
scripted. I feel like that would be
They're
fascinating.
stoked about it now.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? This graphic, it says it all. It's not reserved. It says
Mark
served.
Served. You got.
It's Mark Wahlberg.
It is Mark
It's
Wahlberg
a
doing it.
docu-series.
Oh, it's a docu-series.
Yep.
Okay, I'm so down for this. Anyway, guys, I'm very happy about this. Did you get sucked into the MoviePass thing? Do you remember when it was actually a good service and then the new owners took it over and changed to their little Ponzi scheme? Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.